Good morning, 8th grade grammar class, English class. Here we are today, Monday morning, with another lesson. Haven't graded your test yet from Friday, but I am sure that you all did really well, and I can't wait to see how you did. All right, so our next chapter is chapter 15. We will not spend a lot of time on this. It is over capitalization, using capital letters. These are rules that you have learned your entire life at school. And so I'm going to spend a little bit of time just kind of reviewing. I wanted to tell you, I know some of you may not have picked your book up yet at school or your packet, but that is okay. You can still do all of the work. You don't have to have your book. I'm going to post the rules on our Google Classroom website, so you can always look at them if you're not sure or if you don't remember. And all of the work will be on Google Classroom too. But in your book, we are starting on page 232, and the rules are kind of scattered all the way through to page 243 in your book. All right, so fast and furious, here we go. You always capitalize the first word in a sentence. You already know that. You guys do really well with that. You always capitalize the pronoun I. And if you have it as part of a contraction like I'm or I've or I'll, and there probably are some more there too. And I know that you know that. One of the things I saw that was not in the book is anytime somebody, you don't see this a lot until you read things like maybe by Shakespeare, but sometimes they'll use the word O. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Not O-H, but just O, and you always capitalize O also, if it's by itself. Okay, number 3. This is the longest list of them all, and I've just really given some examples so you can get an idea. But you always capitalize proper nouns and abbreviations. So like Mrs. Llewellyn, you would capitalize the M and the L. Ohio Turnpike, the name of a certain place. You would capitalize that. The Blue Ridge Mountains, the Rocky Mountains, the Ozark Mountains, the Gulf of Mexico, bodies of water, you capitalize those too. Rivers, areas. Planets, you capitalize all the planets like Venus. You even capitalize Earth if you're referring to Earth as the planet. But if you're talking about the Earth, you do not capitalize it. So the rule is if the comes before Earth, you do not capitalize Earth. If you're talking about a country, Egypt, the United States of America, you always capitalize countries. If you're referring to a specific region by its name, like the South, you would capitalize South. But if you said, I'm traveling south, you wouldn't capitalize South. And so that would be the same with, if you were talking about the Pacific Northwest, you would capitalize Pacific Northwest. Okay, moving on. You capitalize different events in history like the French Revolution, the American Revolution, the Revolutionary War, things like that, the Civil War, the Cold War. You capitalize days of the week, Monday. You capitalize all abbreviations, AM, PM, BC, BCE, AD. New Year's Day, holidays. Always capitalize those. Capitalize different nationalities like African, American, Ethiopian. Anything referring to different religious books or deities or anything that goes along with that, like the Bible, the Quran, you would capitalize that. You capitalize the Talmud, the Old Testament, the New Testament. All of those things are going to be capitalized. If you're referring to specific, like Greek gods and goddesses, you would capitalize it because it's a proper name. However, if you're referring to like a pagan god, like if you just wanted to say the gods of Greece, you would leave that lowercase. If you're referring to God, our God, you would capitalize God. You capitalize languages, Russian, English. And if you're talking about classes at school, like you would capitalize a specific language, or you would capitalize I believe it's a class that has numbers after it. But if it's just math or mathematics, you don't capitalize that. Science, you don't capitalize that. To me, that one's kind of hard because you kind of have to remember some of those rules, but that is also in your book. You capitalize brand names, McDonald's, Dixie cups, Sonic. I'm thinking about food, obviously. Dunkin' Donuts. Capitalize all of those. Specific places and buildings like the Eiffel Tower, the Sears Tower, the Empire State Building. You capitalize like ships and planes, Air Force One, Marine One. I'm thinking about all of those ones, but the Queen Mary, the Titanic, you capitalize those. Also, a lot of these things can be used as proper adjectives. So if you were talking about the English, well, I mean, the English Channel is a specific place, but something where, one of these words was the adjective that leads into a noun, you would capitalize the proper adjective. I didn't write one of those down. It's hard for me to think right on the spur of the moment. So let's see. Okay, so if you said New England seafood, you would say New England, because that's a specific place that's proper, and then you would put seafood here in lowercase. So that's just an example of that. Titles for people like Governor Hutchinson, titles of books, music, songs, things like that. The Pearl, that's the one we read in the fall, you would capitalize that. Capitalize musicals, productions like Wicked, or songs for good. So these are just some good examples of things that you would capitalize. So we're going to be practicing with that this week. We'll probably do 3 to 4 exercises. If you guys are just knocking it out of the park and you're doing great, then we're going to test real quick and we're going to move on to the next thing. So, all right, you guys have a great day.